One of the things to understand about your business for local SEO is that Google has likely never actually visited your business. That would be awkward, being that Google is not a person. But even if they sent over representatives, they've likely never done that. And therefore, they rely on a lot of other information to tell them that your business exists. And the last thing Google ever wants to do is send people to a business that's closed or moved, because Google is basing pretty much most of their revenue is coming from ads, and ads are because people use their service, they can run ads, and for a fraction of those people, pick up money, a ton of money from those users. The second Google search rankings are not good anymore, not helpful to people, people will not use Google. There are plenty of other options out there, and then they will not make ad money. So Google has a huge investment in making sure that nobody can game the system, nobody can take advantage of what they do, and they want to make sure that they're delivering to the person looking the very best possible answer that they can, while also allowing for some ad revenue in there in a way that doesn't impact too much the very best possible answer. So one thing that they do is called citations for local businesses is called citations or local listings or business directories or NAP. Lots of names so that marketing companies can say they do a bunch of stuff and you don't know what it means. But NAP or name, address, phone number is the idea that your business has online much information about you. And so let's just take, and Google will borrow from all the different places online to find out if you are, if you're in that location or you've likely moved or you're closed or stuff like that. So if we're going to just take this business, yes, Nick Vision Center, and we're going to add in here. Now, this is a big company called Yext. Yext basically is an aggregator, which means that it pushes out information to a lot of the big online listings so that your information gets updated right away. You can do this all manually. If you decide to do that, good luck, because it's just really a lot of work and a lot of time. There's also Moz Local. There are other companies that do it. There really isn't much of a difference, in my opinion. You pay them a monthly subscription. The second that you stop paying them, this all goes away. Most SEO companies that talk about this are using a tool or a platform like this. So don't get too excited that one company is doing better than the other. What you should do is they should have a lot of online listings being updated and then maybe a few of them done manually. So the big ones, Yelp, Facebook, Google, those are ones, Apple Maps, those are ones that should be manually updated, while the vast majority should just rely on a aggregator. Just keep in mind, if you are moving or you're a brand new business, then that becomes far more important than this topic becomes far more important because you will have a bunch of problems with you'll have a bunch of business type is required. Business location. Okay. So once again, if you move or you're a brand new business, you're okay. They have power listing. That doesn't help us. Anyway, if you move or you are a brand new location, then you're going to have problems with your NAP, right? So that is something. And what this will do, this one's a free power listing search, free scan. Let's just go to a different business that do I know of one that doesn't have one? Well, let's see if this one does. Might as well try it. All right. So what this is doing is just checking that business name, that address, that phone number, and seeing how many of the listings have inconsistent name, address, or phone number. Hopefully it works because it doesn't look like it, but let's see. Well, that's strange. I'm not a robot. Ah, there we go. Cool. So you can see here, this is actually a business that probably has two different locations. Fashion Show is probably one of those locations, and I put in Boulevard, which is another location. They're going to have different addresses. But this is actually beneficial because it shows us what it would look like if you have different information. It's okay to have multiple addresses. So this isn't necessarily bad for this business. In general, though, this would say something. So it will show you if you have a listing that's missing. It will show you if you have a phone number that's being used at a totally wrong address, or if your business name's said differently, or if there's other businesses listing there. So what you're looking for is inconsistent information in the address, the phone number, or the name. And if a lot of these businesses, like for a business that's brand new or a business that's moved, let's say you take over a location that used to be a chiropractic office and now you're an optometrist, you're going to have a ton of wrong information about what business is in that address. And so key important, because if Google has three other options that are better, they'll go with those 3. Why would they go with somebody who they're just not sure exists? So that is name, address, phone number. In a nutshell, pretty important for local SEO, especially if you're new, you're moving, you took over another business, and that's just something to keep in mind. If you're a business with let's say 2 businesses in one. So for example, in a lot of cases, you'll have a lens crafters with an independent doctor, a Costco with an independent optometrist, a Walmart, a Pearl Vision, yada, yada, yada. That's going to cause NAP inconsistency because oftentimes lens crafters or Walmart or those guys will all have their website, which is an eye doctor's website at that address. And then the doctor themselves will have their website being an independent doctor at that location. And so Google will say, I don't know which one of these is the actual business. I'm not going to take the chance of sending a patient to the wrong business, and they'll choose somebody else. And it's very hard to overcome that. And so in most cases, if you ever have two kind of businesses that are side by side that are in the same topical space, even if one's, let's say, an optical and just retail store and the other is a doctor, Google might have a hard time differentiating that. A lot of cases, there might be another example, which is the doctor might have multiple specialties. And in their mind, there's nothing better than to have a website about one of their specialties. Or they might have older websites. Remember that anytime you have competing information about what business exists in that location, or another example would be if you had an old business name and now you change the name to a new business name. Those are things that are going to make huge impact on whether or not you show up in local SEO. And so it's recommended that you be very careful with that.